Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time I'm doing an Earthrise collection video. Now, there's a couple of rules before I actually bring out all my Earthrise figures. The first rule is we're not going to talk about the select figures that came out and released during Earthrise. I kind of want to do that as a separate video, and there's kind of a debate on whether or not that technically counts as Earthrise or just selects on their own. The second thing I want to bring up is that I will count some of the re-released figures, and the third thing is I will also count the Netflix Wave 2 figures because that seems more in line with Earthrise. The first wave belonged with Siege, second wave Earthrise, third wave Kingdom, so it kind of makes sense. Anyways, without further ado, we're going to take a look at the figures. Oh, and also another thing, please don't ask, well, don't you have this figure? What about this figure? If it's not in here, and it hasn't been re-released, and I just didn't count it, then I don't have it. I don't have a lot from Earthrise, unfortunately, because the releases of these figures were very poor out here. There's a ton of exclusive figures I really wanted to get, but just could not get. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and show off what I got. Beginning the small stuff, I do have an in-package Smashdown. Someone actually got this for me, and I already own the Siege version, so I thought, hey, let's just leave this in the Earthrise package, because, yeah, that's kind of cool. Anyways, moving on from that, we have Sound Barrier. This is the first opened figure. It's also the #1 figure in the Earthrise lineup. If you go with the numbers, you know, the proper numbers themselves. And he's pretty cool. Some transparent joints is kind of unfortunate, but I think he's alright. For Wave 2, we also have Slitherfang. Now, this was a Quintesson Battle Master, and he looks pretty cool. As well, in Wave 2, we also have a re-release of the Rung figure. Now, technically, this is not the Earthrise version of it, but I'm going to count it anyways because it was released in the line. Now, for Micromasters, I only have 3 of the sets. The first one we've got is the Autobot Hot Rod Patrol. This has Trip Up and Daddy-O, and man, I am not liking these two. I mean, Daddy-O's fine, but Trip Up is, well, the name implies he trips up pretty well. I mean, he pretty much just falls backwards any day. Anyway, so that is the first pair of Micromasters. But I do have their wave mate, so this is the, I think, Decepticon Military Patrol. This is Bombshock and Growl, and I gotta say, I do kind of like them. They're not great either, but I think Bombshock is a lot better. And last but not least, I believe this is the Decepticon Race Car Patrol. Now, I don't remember their names exactly, but yeah, I do have these two. Could never get the Astro Squad Patrol, unfortunately. And there's another wave with the Decepticon 2-pack that actually combines. I think it's Direct Hit and Power Punch. I never got that. I didn't even get the Siege versions, unfortunately, but I do have these. Alright, before we take a look at the Deluxes, I wanted to take a look at some of the exclusives. This is the only Galactic Odyssey pack, and some of the other ones are available on Amazon. I just haven't really jumped on them, but I really wanted these two, and so I'm very happy I got them. Also, I do have a couple of the Netflix figures, so thanks to 01 Transfan for this guy. This is Bumblebee, of course it is, and he looks pretty good. I do like the fact that he transforms into the proper Volkswagen Beetle. And then I also have Soundwave, and he does come with his Micromasters. I'm not going to pull them out right away, but yeah, Soundwave's pretty cool. We still have quite a lot more coming from the Deluxe class lineup. This is Wheeljack, and I actually got him on some Amazon accident. They just charged me randomly for a Deluxe class figure, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And I didn't realize that I had put Wheeljack in my cart, but I didn't actually pay for him. Well, I did, but I didn't actually try to purchase him, and they just sent it anyways, and I wasn't going to complain because I was going to get Wheeljack anyways. It was just a weird mess up in the system. Anyways, the next figure we got is Autobot Hoist. He's pretty cool. I like the green on him. I actually like how chunky he is. I know some people don't like him, but I really enjoy that figure. Another figure that some people don't like, but I really like, is Cliffjumper. I just think they really surprised me. I know he's small, I know he's got the parts warming thing, but I think as far as his figure is concerned, overall, I think he's pretty cool. Moving on, we also have Ironworks, so that completes the very first wave of the Deluxes, and I think he looks pretty nice. He's got this oily texture to his paint job, which is pretty cool. I like the color scheme, this industrial look, the crane arm. I thought he was a nice introduction to that modulator gimmick. Moving on to Wave 2, I only managed to find 2 figures. This is Airwave, and I think it looks pretty nice, you know, very boxy. Kind of reminds me of Tidal Wave. It's like a mini drone for Tidal Wave. I don't know why, it's just, I get that impression with him. Next up, we also have RC. It's RC. Pretty much all I want to say about that figure. Next up, we also have Runamuck. Unfortunately, I did not find a Runabout anywhere, which is kind of unfortunate because I always wanted the pair together. But Runamuck is pretty cool. I like the white. I think it's a nice bright color, so that's pretty awesome. And last but not least, for the Deluxes, I also have Fast Track. So those are my only 2 figures of the Wave 3 lineup. I never managed to find Sunstreaker or Trailbreaker. But these 2 are pretty cool. I definitely do like Fast Track. I kind of wish I got Scorponok as well. Maybe one day I'll get Scorponok, but this guy's pretty awesome. Oh, and also before you say, well, what about the Siege collection? There's a lot to set up with Siege, so I don't feel like doing that right away. Maybe one day, but yeah, I got so many of the figures that it would just be a challenge. Anyways, moving right along, we also have the Voyager class figures, of course. The first thing we've got is Grapple, which I really do like. He was a shell former for a long time. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if people are still finding this guy on the shelves. But I really do like him, and I think he's a nice figure. I also really like Earthrise Starscream. In fact, I was quite surprised with Earthrise Starscream. I thought that would be kind of mild or just meh, but no, actually I really like the jet mode, and the robot mode really fascinates me. He just really looks like Starscream. I mean, of course, what else would he be, but still, very nice. And last but not least, for the Voyagers, unfortunately I didn't find the Quintesson Judge, and the Earthrise Megatron didn't really fascinate me, but I did get Snapdragon. I thought it was pretty nice. I was pretty lucky to find him. I like the Headmaster gimmick on this guy, and I've got Ape Face already, so he's pretty cool. And last but not least is the Leader Class toy. So this was a re-release in the Siege line, but we've got Astro Train right here. And I was quite surprised with Astro Train. This is actually the Earthrise package version. There's really no difference between that and the Siege version. He just looks incredible. I think he's a nice mold. I wish he was bigger, but other than that, I mean, I really like him. The next one we have is the Optimus Prime. Now, technically, this is the Kingdom version of Optimus Prime, but there really is no difference. Some people say that, oh, there's a slight color hue change with the plastic, but I don't think that's enough to really say, oh yeah, totally different figure. So, yeah, Earthrise Optimus Prime. And last but not least, for my Earthrise collection in its entirety so far is Double Dealer, which I actually really do like. I kind of like the alt mode. I know some people don't. Well, both of the alt modes. I know the bird mode is ridiculous, but I kind of like how ridiculous it is. And I think the robot mode has its shortcomings, but I don't think it's that bad. And also, I always kind of wanted a proper Double Dealer anyways, so I don't necessarily mind this. So that is the entirety of my Earthrise collection. It's really not that big, but it is big enough to not really get a full group shot because it takes up so much space. But with that out of the way, that is pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. And I will see you guys next time.